Hey everybody, welcome to Valentine TV. I was watching my friend KADISHALYNN'S channel. She originally came from TikTok, but now she's on YouTube. Y'all, okay, you can find her now on YouTube. But listen, did y'all know for each uh SMEX worker that came to the room, that is one count under Rico, right? So each worker is charged separately. Hey Rebecca, how you doing? Hey, welcome to Valentine TV. Each worker is found. I mean, it's a separate case, and you only need two under Rico. But she loves criminal law. She loves it. So I'm gonna let her explain it as you come in. Y'all, please hit that subscribe button. We're at 889, and also hit the like button. And let's see what Rebecca say. Uh, I'm fantastic. Oh, thank you so much. You so sweet. Thank you. This is my first video today, and let me let y'all hear, and maybe she can explain it way better than me, because she is a law person.
It's a high probability that Diddy could be found guilty of the Rico charge. With a lot of the charges, we're unsure how the jury is going to react, but there is one charge in particular that we can all guarantee that Diddy is going to be found guilty of because there's really no defense, and that is the transportation to engage in prostitution. And these charges by themselves could also be one of the reasons why Diddy could be potentially found guilty of Rico, and I'm about to break it all down. Diddy has two charges that are not under Rico for transportation to engage in prostitution for Cassie Ventura and also for Jane. Yesterday, we also learned that they are charging Diddy twice for the transportation to engage in prostitution under the Rico charge. And this is a big deal. And that's because the government only has to prove two predicate acts out of this long.
Exactly. Yeah, she'll be back. I don't know what just happened. She'll be right back. She has to catch up with me again.
List. This is something that I haven't seen anybody talk about. When it comes to the transportation to engage in prostitution charge, they have showed mounting evidence, and there's not a lot to prove there. They've shown flight records, they've shown text messages, they've shown payments on Cash App, Venmo, and more. They've been showing evidence of Diddy's co-conspirators helping along the transportation to engage in prostitution of these workers by them paying these workers by
Yeah, and people kept saying, yeah, Cassie, Jane Doe, all they was paying the workers, but they're not understanding. They would if it they didn't have Diddy was paying the workers, people. Diddy was paying them, like, here, give them this, give them that, or they would leave the money at the front desk, okay, for the workers to pick up, right? And then remember the time they put it in the freaking Uber in the plastic bag and a red something, and the girl Jane Doe took a picture of the bag and the license plate of the Uber driver car. Remember that? Yeah. And then also remember that he bought that darn Smex tape from the FO tape from the hotel for $100,000. Yeah, they traced that back to Combs Global, and also the guy even testified. And then as far as the bribery, as far as Kid Cudi goes, no, the car didn't blow up, but it was attempted. You got to look at the attempted and all of that too. But he attempted to blow up the car, and the reason is because the police got up and testified that the van was at Kid Cudi's house with the license plate that came to Diddy and stuff like that, right? And then one the lady, dang, you know the one. He may take her to Kid Cudi's house with a bang bang. You know, he had that on her and said, "You gonna take me?" And then when they fin call Cass and tell her to come, and then once she comes, I get her and you free to leave. Yeah, all of that stuff, y'all. I've been listening to all these channels. I still love my buddies though, but y'all wrong. Y'all wrong this time.
Them also setting up the flights across state lines, text messages, and more. And you have the freak off tapes to back all of it up. So not only do you have the records of hotels, the records of flight, records of payments, you have the actual act happening and you were able to see it happening on camera. And
That's right. Diddy was still watching it after everybody left the courthouse. Somebody he was rubbing his hand, licking his lips, all that stuff. And then also remember the extortion or whatever you want to call it, when Diddy told Cass's mama, if you don't give me $20,000, I'm gonna show these some tapes of your daughter. And her mama had to go take a loan out. So that lets you know who was paying for the workers, because Cass and them didn't have the money, or her mom wouldn't have to put her house up, get a loan on the house, right? And then once he got the money, he waited 3 days, then he sends it back. But the act had already been done because he had already received money, okay? So, y'all, guilty.
that's literally transportation to engage in prostitution. We even just found out today Diddy was so messy that he was even texting. This is exactly what he was using these male workers for. Today, the jury saw messages from Diddy sent to an entertainer that was from Cowboys for Angels, an escort service, telling him when to arrive at a hotel. Hours later, an employee for Cowboys for Angels texted Diddy saying he still needed to pay $600. And Diddy responded to this worker and said, LOL, he couldn't even perform. The employee then explained to Diddy that he was paying for the man's time, and Combs told the employee that she needed to be nice to him because he was a long-time customer. I usually don't like to give my interpretation because we don't know how the jury is going to react, but this charge in particular has been so clean cut since the very beginning, and I think that this is something more that people need to talk about. Now that we know it's being.
And y'all remember, he held the record. Remember, Cassie signed it. What was it? 10 album contract or something like that, right? He held that over her head, right? And then the Jane Doe, he held the house, a place for her and her son to stay over her head. You know what I mean? I mean, he beat them and then have them thinking, especially Jane, because Jane's still in love. I mean, and you know, you come here, it's just gonna be me and you, and then she gets there thinking it's gonna be just them two. Then he gives her a appeal, so she takes it, thinks it's gonna be just them. Then once the pill hit, then he calls get that worker, or the worker already up in the room waiting. So he tricked her, right? So he tricked her, y'all. There's so much evidence that says he's guilty, and all these people, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I see it. I see it. And I pray the jurors see it. I do. Because I tell you what, even if he was to get out, and everybody truly know who Jane Doe is. So if he ever get out, he gonna wish he would have got. He gonna wish he'd have been guilty. Okay, that's my thought on it. Cause somebody probably wait, knowing that they was around the son too. Yeah, he gonna wish he would. Yeah. So, but he guilty. Y'all know he guilty. Think about it. Think about it. Rewind this tape. Look at it again. Look at it again. And just listen. Okay? Each charge, because each prostitute person that they brought, that is one count. And how many did they have? Hundreds, right? Hundreds. So yeah, and then remember Roger Bond said he took care of Cassie and told her she could not leave because Diddy said she couldn't leave till her face healed up. And he would take her ice and stuff for her wound. And she was ready to leave, and he said no. Diddy said you couldn't go nowhere until your face healed up, so no, you can't leave. So what do you call that when you can't leave when you get ready and you grown? All right, y'all, come on, come on, guilty. All right, let's see what else she has to say.
Charged twice under the Rico charge, and they only have to prove 2 predicate acts. Diddy could technically be found guilty of Rico just if he's found guilty on those charges. And then he's being charged for it again 2 times separately as well. And the whole time during cross examinations and everything, we haven't even really heard Diddy try to argue the prostitution charges. And I think that's because there's really no argument to be had on that. When it comes to these charges in particular, the prosecution has literally laid out everything with so much evidence. So there's really nothing that can be argued about that. A lot of people think that Diddy is just going to walk away scot-free, clean of everything. But I'm telling you right now, that is not going to happen. Now, will Diddy be found not guilty of some of the alleged crimes? Maybe. We don't know because we are not the jury and we don't know what they are thinking. But these charges in particular, they're sealed. They're done. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
And y'all, that's Kadisha Lynn on YouTube. She is great. She's great with it, y'all. Anyway, that's all I got. Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for coming to Valentine TV. Please hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button. And I'm at 889, y'all. We getting on up there. A month I was in the 738. So we getting it on up there on our own. All right. All right. I'll talk to y'all later, okay? All right. Y'all have a blessed night. Good night, y'all. Good night, Rebecca.